Hello, and welcome to the Northwest African American Museum's interactive story time as we kick off our Juneteenth week. I'm Lanisha with the Northwest African American Museum, and we are so excited that you've joined us today for our family friendly, child centered interactive story time where we bring culturally relevant stories to you every second Sunday. As we begin today's program and this week's Juneteenth week, we acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people, past and present. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish people. We also honor the Coast Salish people of this region. We acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral lands of a people who are still here, continuing to honor and bring to light their ancient heritage. We are also grateful for our African ancestors who survived the Ma'afa, the Middle Passage, who endured the violence of slavery and the indignity of racial oppression, who had the courage to pack up and head north and west to the Northwest, who blazed trails for us to be here and to be ourselves here. Thank you all for tuning in today for this kickoff of NAAM's Juneteenth week. We are in for a treat today with a guest reader kicking off this special time of year. This is Juneteenth week, a time set aside to remember the strength of African American history. Juneteenth is a cultural holiday that marks the ending of slavery in the United States. Some of our enslaved ancestors learned about their freedom 2.5 years after it was granted to them because those in power did not share the news with them. So each year, Juneteenth, June 19, and all the days surrounding June 19 helps us to honor those ancestors, to celebrate freedom, and to remember how important justice and equity is for us all. This year, the Northwest African American Museum is spending 9 days making Juneteenth special. Every day this week, the museum is hosting a different program daily to commemorate Juneteenth from today, June 13th, through next Monday, June 21st. Be sure to visit our website daily for updates and details. And it kicks off right now with today's interactive story time with you, your families, and an amazing guest reader and artist. Today's program is presented in partnership with Seattle Sounders FC soccer team and the Rave Foundation. Now, former Seattle Sounders FC player Steve Zakawani is our guest reader today. He read a wonderful book for our interactive story time back in January during our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And we had such a great time with him. He's back again today, and we're so excited to have him here to read today's Juneteenth book called Sing a Song: How Lift Every Voice and Sing Inspired Generations. The author of the book is Kelly Starling Lyons, and the book is about a beautiful song written over 100 years ago, now called and wonderfully known as the Black National Anthem. After the reading, we'll hear from Miss Ashley Foster. She is Executive Director of the Rave Foundation. And then we are in for another treat today with an interactive art session led by Teddy Stat Phillips. He is the amazing artist who created the letter I in Seattle's Black Lives Matter street mural. So tell a friend to tune in right now to the interactive story time no one wants to miss, all that's ahead today. Thank you again for tuning in and enjoy this Juneteenth week 2020, brought to you by the Northwest African American Museum and several community partners. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve Zakwani from the Seattle Sounders, and I will be reading today from Sing a Song, How Lift Every Voice and Sing Inspired Generations. All right, here we go. Before you were born, a girl learned a song. We have a beautiful picture of the girl right there. Her principal, James Weldon Johnson, and his brother, John Rosamond Johnson, had written the hymn for a celebration of President Abraham Lincoln's birthday. The girl wanted to make them proud. She hummed the song on her way home from school. She practiced it as she did her chores. On the big day, February 12th, 1900, she was part of a choir, 500 strong. Back straight, head high, heart and mouth open, she sang. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. You see a photo of all of them singing there. Really cool shot. And she kept on singing as she grew up. She taught it to her students when she became a teacher. She crooned it to her husband as they journeyed from Jacksonville, Florida, to a new life in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She sang when she rocked her baby boy to sleep. It was part of her she wanted to pass on. And you know what? Her little boy learned that song. He listened to her hum it as she dreamed of being able to teach again in her new home. He heard his daddy sing it when the days at the steel mill wore him down. Then one day he stood in the choir loft and gazed at the glowing faces. Back straight, head high, heart and mouth open, he sang. Let our rejoicing rise, high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. And there's a great shot of him singing as part of the choir. And he kept on singing. He sang it when he came back from World War II and faced discrimination. He sang it when he joined the NAACP. He sang it with his wife and to his baby daughter as he rocked her to sleep. It was a part of him he wanted to pass on. And you know what? His little girl learned that song too. She sang it each morning at school. Then came the day that broke the nation's heart. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed. The next morning, she saw her teacher cry. Sobs replaced singing, then whimpers and silence. Who would lead them now? And you see everybody's sad after Dr. King was killed. The song whispered an answer. Back straight, head high, heart and mouth open, she sang. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. And she kept on singing. She sang it at protests for equal rights, and when she and her friends were jailed, she sang that song in her heart each time she won or lost a case as a lawyer. She sang it to her baby boy as she rocked him to sleep. It was a part of her she wanted to pass on. And you know what? Her little boy learned that song. Every family reunion opened with that anthem. He sang because he had to at first, but then something changed. He saw the awe in his grandparents' faces, saw the pride in his mamas and pups. Back straight, head high, heart and mouth open, he sang. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. And he kept on singing. He sang it at his college graduation, and when he opened his first business, he sang it at rallies to stand up against racism. He sang it holding his wife's hand at Black History programs, and when he rocked his daughter to sleep. It was a part of him he wanted to pass on. And you know what? His little girl learned that song. And on another big day, September 24, 2016, she stood in a crowd of thousands along with her mama and daddy. President Obama, the First Lady, and generations of one family rang the freedom bell. A dream born a century ago to honor Black lives and contributions had finally come true. The National Museum of African American History and Culture was officially open. And there's the photo of that. As you can see, it's a really, really cool shot. They're all holding hands together. It's really cool. With the Washington Monument piercing the sky, that little girl stared at the bronze building, majestic as a crown. As bells around the nation tolled in triumph, she heard a voice rising too. Clear and strong, it was a song she heard her parents sing. Back straight, head high, heart and mouth open, she sang. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Wonderful shot there. Really cool. And you know what? That song is part of you. Sing when you score a victory. Sing when tough times get you down. Sing and think of all the people who sang before you, who carried on and pushed forward even when everything was against them. Sing and remember they never stopped believing. Keep singing, keep pushing, keep passing it on, keep on keeping on. Wonderful book, wonderful story, wonderful message. Hope you all enjoyed.
Wow. I'm inspired by that story, and I know you all are too. My name is Ashley Fosberg, and I am with the Rave Foundation. We're the charitable arm of the Seattle Sounders, and I'm so honored to be here today to have you all help us in a really amazing art program that we host called Goals for Art. Now, I want you to know a little bit about Rave Foundation. We build fields in communities where kids don't have access to play. And so we might be in a field near where you live. We might be building a small little soccer field for you to play in. We have a field at Yesler Terrace Park you may know about. We have some fields in the city of Seattle on the west side. We have some fields in Burien and in SeaTac and Des Moines. And what we like to do when we invest these fields is have community kids help us make the goals for those fields. Now, I'm going to show you right now on your screen, you see a couple examples of our soccer goals that kids in communities have helped us create using art. So your job today is to create art for us to take and put on the goals of brand new goals we're putting at Sam Smith Park. Now, Sam Smith Park is really close to Jimi Hendrix Park and NAAM. I'm going to show you where it is on the map right here. So you see on the bottom left of your screen, that's the Northwest African American Museum. And in the bottom center of your screen is a little portion of Jimi Hendrix Park. And up above is Sam Smith Park. And you may have seen or played on this soccer field right by Sam Smith Park. Since you already have a great field, what we're going to do is give that field brand new soccer goals with your help today. So you see I've circled in yellow where the new goals are going to be. This is kind of what the goals look like now, and what we hope to accomplish with your help today and the help of our special artist is something a little bit closer to this. So that's what Goals for Art is. And today I hope that when you work with our wonderful artist, Teddy, you'll think about the book that Steve Zakawani just read to you. When I listened to the story, I heard a lot of words that came to my mind, like hope and freedom and home and liberty and love. And I think what Teddy wants to do with you today is to help you put those words into a feeling and put that feeling into your art. So I'm so happy to introduce Teddy Stat Phillips today. Teddy is a great friend of the Seattle Sounders. As you know, he's a local artist and a major contributor to the mural in Seattle's CHOP that it depicted Black Lives Matter. He works at Microsoft during the day, but his passion is for art and helping kids like you express themselves. So without further ado, please meet Teddy Stat Phillips, who will take you through an art lesson today to help us make goals for the new field at Sam Smith Park. Hi, Teddy.
Hey, Ashley. Thanks for having me. Thank you to everyone that's attending right now. So yeah, like Ashley was mentioning before, Steve read a great book. I know it has me and my feelings. I feel inspired. I feel joyful. I feel empowered. I feel the passion, and just think about the history of everything, and then just the meaning of the song all together. So I want you to take a minute and think about the message and the book that Steve was reading, and try to get some thoughts together of what it meant to you as well. And then what I like to do, especially with my art, I like to take my feelings, whether I'm listening to music or I just have like a regular inspiration. I take that and I try to evoke emotion through color in my art. So we'll take probably about 15 seconds and just get into your thoughts and your feelings. Okay, cool. I think we did enough of that. Some people might be familiar with me, some people might not be, but if not, all good. I want to take you through some of my work, and it's right behind me. So here, up at the top, we have Kobe Bryant. He's one of my favorite basketball players. RIP to him and everyone that was lost on that day. Also behind me, we have Tupac Shakur, who's one of my favorite rappers. And I'd pick a pot in one of my favorite pictures that he had, and he's just looking out, like, cool. And then we have here LeBron James, who's my current favorite basketball player right now. But through all these pictures, I try to have a colorful background, so where I'm able to bring attention to the centralized figure here. And that's kind of like what we're doing today. So we want to use a lot of the colors that we thought about when we were thinking about the book that Steve was reading. And then we want to start using our color pastels to evoke some of that emotion and bring it through with art. So start lifting up right now. So I want to make sure everyone has their materials. So we have our oil pastels right here. And then we have our charcoal, pencils, and like our utilities. So put your charcoals to the side right now. And make sure you have your art paper all lined up. We're gonna follow along. So when I thought about that, I thought about happiness. So when I think about happiness, I use a lot of yellow. So it's the yellow I'll be using today. Like royalty, thinking about freedom, I think about purple as well. And then just like, fiery passion, I use red and orange a lot for that. So yeah, you can notice that in the LeBron painting. Yeah, so without further ado, I have a short attention span, so let's get started. So I think I'm gonna start my red first. So I want to do a pattern. So I'm gonna start doing a pattern first. And 3 things in this class you have to understand, right? Well, 3 rules about the class. There's no such thing as ugly art. There's no such thing as ugly art, and there's no such thing as ugly art. So you can't mess this up at all. So do this. So what we're doing, we're drawing the outline first with just whatever colors you want to use. And then we're going to fill them in. And then everything's going to start coming together. So give everyone time. I know you're probably still selecting your colors, or if not, just take this time to draw your patterns. Nothing too crazy, and just remember, like, don't overthink it at all. Like, I'm a huge overthinker, and I'm trying to get better about that. But like, spill the color. It's gonna come out great. It's gonna start coming together in a minute. Okay, I'm about to start getting to the fun part. When you start shading, like, you don't have to get it super perfect. Just fill in a little bit, because we're gonna take a napkin. Just find your nearest napkin. It doesn't have to be fancy or anything. And we're gonna start blending some of the colors together. See, like, nothing too major. White space is good. And while we're here, shameless plug. So we're gonna be doing this again, the same class again, out on the 19th in Jimi Hendrix Park. So follow NAAM for more information on that. So you come out and do a live in person. Oh man. You want to add more color there. And remember, cannot stress this enough, you cannot mess this up. Right? I just don't like how big this block was. So I'm gonna come over it. If you have any comments. That seems to be fun. Great. Still coloring. And remember, again, like white space is fun. You're gonna do fun shading, and then it'll all start to make sense. So just follow along. Trust me. Trust me. It'll make this look super cool. So that's the space here. You don't want this much white space, so I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. What color should we use? What color haven't we used? Blue's always good. Let's get something close to Rave green again. Thanks to the Rave Foundation for putting this on, and super impactful art. So your art's gonna go up, it's gonna be displayed, empowering kids like yourself to get out, play sports. So super impactful. So keep that in mind. Beautiful color, I can't find it. Okay, so we're good. So take everything in, and then I'm about to go grab a napkin. I'll be right back. Give me like a minute. Okay, I'm back. So we have like all our colors together. This is gonna be the fun part. So just take a napkin and hold it pretty firmly. and just start to shake. Right? Start to rub across. So you see like how the white spaces that you didn't fill in start coming together. Sway. Starting to look cool, right? Just keep going through here. So if you don't want your colors to mix, like make a hard edge and kind of go like that. So just be careful not to blend if you're not trying to blend. But if you want to blend everything, just go for it. So there's a background. It's coming on. There we go. Actually, I'm just gonna route some edges, honestly. So cool. Here goes our background. So now we're about to use our charcoal. So we're about to personalize it a little bit. Thinking about Lift Every Voice and Sing, Black National Anthem, and just thinking about like when we always sung it at church. I'm from Alabama, and I always thought about my faith and thought about kingdoms. Just like kingdom come. Finally, we're here. So, so with that, I think I want to put a crown. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start putting symbols. So you can do anything you want. So like love. If you think of a flower would be great. Umbrella for protection. You can do phrases like faith, or cross, or just whatever symbol it is. If you want to do a soccer ball, but I'm gonna spread mine with pretty much everything I'm feeling right now. So I'm starting with the crown first. And I want to make it super rough. Remember, just don't overthink this. I think about love too. So, heart. Think about something precious, like a diamond. So I'm gonna drop a diamond here. How does it let out? Over the top. What else am I thinking? Right words like hope, right? not overthink this. I'm the worst person to be saying that. Going back to civil rights, I don't know, like Malcolm X, it's huge to me. I don't know, something else. It's happiness. Always give a shit on happy face. But sounding on all this. So here we go. Super abstract. But try to fill the space in with the beautiful background that you created. Things that mean things to you, you know? So that was it. Second chat. And please take your time with this.
All right. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Working through the steps that Teddy so wonderfully showed us. First, your color field with your oil pastels, and then blending those colors in the back if you choose. Teddy showed us how to use a napkin to do that. Hopefully you all have a napkin or paper towel at home. Teddy, your blending skills are just so good.
Thanks,
and I loved how Teddy added symbols, and I'm sure that you all have ideas on what a symbol you'd like to put on your art, because it's so individual, right? So it's all about what you choose and what is in your head and your heart right now, and what maybe inspired you by the story. So I see Teddy has a crown and a cross and the word hope. And I love the sun at the end, Teddy. That's beautiful. Sun's always hopeful, isn't it? So I think I wanted to explain, please take your time to continue your art. It's your time today to finish the art in however you so choose. But I wanted you to know that right now we're going to put up on the screen what to do next. So we want your art. We want to see it, and we want to use it to put on the goals at the new field that we talked about in Sam Smith Park. So this is the phone number that what we'd like you to do is get your parent or guardian, anybody with a cell phone, take a picture of your art, just your art. You can also send a picture of you holding your art, but we also need a picture of just the art. And then text that picture to this number on the screen, 206-207-9255. So then what my job is, I will take all of that art and I will send it to the designer and the fabricator that's actually making the goals. And they will use it to inform how the goals look. And just someday, maybe hopefully in August, early September, those new goals will be at Sam Smith Park, and you'll get to go and hopefully see either your art or your buddy's art or a reflection of your art on those goals. We're also going to host everybody's art in an online art gallery ravefoundation.org. So really great if I know Patrice will, and the Northwest African American Museum will send out a link to the art gallery as soon as it's ready. I also want to remind everybody that we're hosting this same art class live at Juneteenth next Saturday. So Teddy will be there. Steve Zakawani will be there. Lamar Nagel, another Sounder alumni, will be there. We're going to play soccer with you all and do some art and have a great time. So please join us next Saturday at Juneteenth. And don't forget to text us your art when you're done. We can't wait to see it. Thank you, Teddy, so much. And thank you, everybody at home, for joining us today. And thank you to the African American Museum for hosting us.
Absolutely.